We'll close agenda item 16, move to agenda item 17, consideration of award of a bid for the Mesquite SEC trail system with possible action. Mr. Sawyer.
Yes, Mayor and Council. The City of Mesquite received a grant from SMPLMA, which is Southern Nevada Lands Public Lands Management Act, for $1 million. It's for a trail, a paved trail, a 10-foot paved trail, and then natural trails up in the SEC. The bid's gone out, and we received 8 bidders on the project. They ranged, there was about $300,000 to $400,000 difference in the bids. I'm pleased to announce that Mesquite General Contractors was low bid on this for $746,058 for 746,058.46, and staff recommends approval of awarding the bid with all the alternates. Some of the alternates are for a restroom facility at the trailhead, also for the natural trails. The natural trails will be very interesting. There's one natural trail that's actually it's quite a hard trail to go up, but it'll be very good for a lot of people who want a little more exercise, I guess. So staff recommends approval of it, and we also have a contingency of $74,605.85. And then staff will be doing the construction management, and that will be billed on an hourly basis by Public Works and also by my staff and myself.
Thank you, Mr. Sawyer. Any questions for Mr. Sawyer? Councilman Hayden.
What the timing of this one's at? How long do they have? When does it start?
They will start within 7 days of the bid, probably, because that's how long it'll take to get the insurance. So it'll be 7 to 10 days, and they'll start construction on it.
Another question?
There's no more questions. I'll make a motion.
Just real quick, how long before it's done?
We hope to have it done about 90 days. So it'll be a great project. It really fits into the Pulte Del Webb project up there. They have a little section of a trail that comes out of their project, and this will meet right up with it. It'll go along, and then if you go out there in the mornings, you'll see all kinds of people out there walking and biking and ATVing. So it'll be a great project.
Any further questions?
Yeah, just sorry, real quick. I apologize for that. You did say ATVs too, so there's ATV trails.
The ATV trail is actually on the road. That's the only thing, but they will be able to go on the roads down to Ben Franklin, and that's where they go up the mesa.
Good. Any questions over here? Not seeing any. Go ahead, Councilman Hayden.
Mayor, I move that we award the bid for the Mesquite SEC trail system to Mesquite General Contractors in the amount of $746,058.46. And I would also note that that is substantially lower than the engineer's estimate, which is a good thing.
Second.
Thank you. Go ahead.
We have the contingency on there and also the authorization for construction management.
With all staff recommendations.
Thank you.
Councilman Levin.
Second. Thank you.
We'll call for a vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Agenda item 18 is consideration of approval of a 10-acre site for a new cemetery located on Hardy Way, west of Falcon Ridge Parkway, and approval from the council to issue a request for qualifications for the master planning and mapping services and assistance with seeking funding opportunities for the new cemetery. Mr. Sawyer.
Yes, Mayor and Council. As we was on our retreat, or what do you call it, when we took our bus tour, we showed the council and the mayor and actually the audience, some of the audience was there, where we wanted to put a cemetery. Staff is This is a formal request to have that site designated as a cemetery site, and then we would like to go out for RFQ to actually master plan the site and help us find some funding for the site. And staff recommends approval of it. We will be bringing this back once we get the RFQ, so we see how much it's going to cost us. We'll be bringing that back to the council so that they can approve the funding for that. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sawyer. Any questions for Mr. Sawyer? Councilman Littman?
Kurt, on the second page of the back of the material where it says the funding for the veterans section would be accomplished by obtaining money from veterans associations, shouldn't that be using the rural VA funding source? Because veterans associations would infer that you'd be receiving funds from VFW, American Legion, Vietnam veterans, and they're not probably into that business whatsoever at this point.
You are correct. We put that in there in case there's somebody that comes in with the RFQ, some engineering firm that, hey, they have a source that they might say, hey, we could get some money out of this source, so that's the reason we left it at that. But you are correct.
Okay, but that would not, making a parallel that perhaps we wouldn't receive any money from rural VA, which shouldn't be the case.
Right.
We still should be looking at setting up a section for veterans because they still would be receiving some funding from the VA for burials, whether it be here or whether it be Boulder.
Yes, and when we do the master planning, that's exactly what the master planning will do, is set out a section for that and for also for others, so you're correct. And we'll actually be working with the veterans once we get somebody on board. They'll be working with the veterans and they'll have some meetings with them and talk about what their needs and stuff are, so.
Thank you.
That will be part of it.
Appreciate it.
Any further questions? Seeing none, we'll seek a motion. Councilman Rapson.
I'll move to approve a 10-acre site for a new cemetery located at Hardy Way, west of Falcon Ridge Parkway, and approve the request for qualifications for the master planning and mapping services and assistance in seeking funding opportunities.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Agenda item 19 is consideration of approval of a contract with Atkins North America, Inc. to perform an update to the existing Transportation Capital Improvements Plan, TCIP, and fee assessment for the city of Mesquite. Mr. Sawyer.
Yes, staff went out for RFQ on this. We had a number of firms that came in on this project. It was, when all the firms were looked at, it was decided that Atkins would be the best firm. Atkins is the old PBS&J. They've been bought out, PBS&J have, now it's called Atkins North America. Staff had in the budget of $31,000. We didn't know exactly how much this study would be. It's Atkins's came in with a $65,125,000 for this study. So there is additional money that needs to be allocated for this, and we have the money in the TCIP fee for that extra money. By state law, the city is required to update the TCIP fee every 33 years, and that's what staff is doing now. For the last few years, the TCIP fee has actually been going down because of the infrastructure that the city of Mesquite's already put in place. When we first started out, I believe it was like $266 a house. I think it's now around 120 or 30, if I'm not mistaken, a house, and it just seems to keep going down and down because of the infrastructure that we've already put into place. So that's what this study will actually tell us, is if we need the fee. But we do need it because we actually have some carryovers with some people actually have credits on this, so we do need the fee to continue for a few more years.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Sawyer? Councilman Hafen?
No questions, I'll make a motion.
Let me check. Any questions? Hold on. Ms. Hunt, do you have a question?
Thanks, Mayor and Council. There is a section in here that I asked to be removed, and I see it's still in here. It's in red on page 7, number 12. So in the motion,
Yeah, they agreed to take that out.
yeah, we need to, in the motion, make sure that that's indicated that's removed before the council, if the council's going to accept it.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt.
Thank you.
Councilman Hafen, I don't see any other questions or comments. Go ahead, sir.
Mayor, I move that we approve the contract with Atkins North America, Inc. With the removal of page 7, section 12, per legal counsel's suggestion, and perform an update to the existing TCIP and approve a budget augmentation of $31,000 and all other staff recommendations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Councilman Hafen, you need to make a comment.
Mayor, I need to abstain on item 20 due to the fact that I have ownership and shares in the Bunker Hill Irrigation Company. I will be abstaining.
Thank you, Councilman. Agenda item 20 is consideration of approval of modification 1 to cooperative agreement number 65-9327-12 between the City of Mesquite and the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service to replace the Bunkerville diversion structure. Possible action. Mr. Willis.
Joe Willis, City of Mesquite. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. Modification 1 is to extend the cooperative agreement from December 20th, 2012 to March 31st, 2013. The cooperative agreement was approved by City Council on June 12th, 2012, and staff's available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Councilman Ramsden.
Is this the last time we're going to see this?
No, it's not. We'll see it again when it goes out to bid and we award the contract for construction, so at least one more time.
Okay. Councilman Lippman.
Again, this is the area we took a tour of where the diversion dam was damaged? So
Yeah, this is the area.
that is the area.
This
Thank
is the
you.
project.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll seek a motion. Councilman Gustavson.
Thank you, Mayor. A hard time with that button tonight. Thank you, Mayor. I move that we approve modification number 1 of cooperative agreement number 65-9327-112.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. Motion carries. Thank you.